Hi everyone, Caesar Toledo here with Bipper Media for another weekly vlog. I know you've been dying to hear more about this or for my vlog because the three people that saw it last week, they're just itching to wait for it. And I hope it's not the three people in Bipper Media. But anyways, to get started, today we're going to talk about blogging and basically for small businesses. Why is it important? Why should you be doing it? Especially small businesses have a very limited amount of funds that they put aside for advertising purposes. And obviously, you want to do it organically on Google because that's how everybody's searching. You know that, I know that. That's what you do all the time. So, how can you harness the power of being found on Google? And one of the ways to do this is to blog, do a bunch of guest blogs. And we're going to go ahead and get started and kind of show you, give you a better idea. If you've never heard of this, you'll have an understanding what it is. If you have heard of it, maybe I can take away some of the misconceptions that you've had about blogging. Because some businesses actually are like, oh, I don't need to blog, or I'll just blog once a month. And blogging does help you get found and get your website a lot more visible on Google. So the first one is, what is guest blogging? As you can see, it says guest posts are articles one blogger can write and share on someone else's blog. Um, Basically, I always kind of give this example. So let's say you have a contact at the New York Times, and you write a blog for them, like about your business, and then it can't be. A lot of them don't like advertising stuff. So you, in general, let's say that you are an air conditioning repair company, and you write about air conditioning, 10 steps of how to beat the heat in the summer, and and it's about your air conditioning, keeping it up to date and all that stuff. And the New York Times, your friend's like, hey, I'll put it on our editorial or whatever, I'll put it somewhere. Well, now you have a backlink through the New York Times because you're obviously going to have your website in there and your website link in there, and then you're going to have the post that you wrote. And so now you're going to have a blog, and not only do you have a blog where people can read about it, but you have that link that is getting helped and gaining traction for your domain authority through the New York Times, because the New York Times obviously is a huge publication. Um, how to get started? Well, the first one is establish your goals. Believe it or not, even as a small business, you're everywhere. And one of the reasons people are always kind of moving around in their business, like maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, because sometimes you'll do a sale or you'll do a service that is completely out of what you do. It maybe it's part of it, but it's not your bread and butter. And you think, oh my goodness, I've gotten like two of these. But then that's all you got. And when you kind of break it down, those are really the outliers and not the mean of your strategy of what you do. And so what you want to do is establish your goals, because it's going to help you determine the blogs that you want to write. And like what kind of topic do you want to write about? What do you, based on what your customers are calling you about, if you're AC repair, what is the number one thing that outranks everybody else in terms of why they call you? Is it to clean their air ducts, to replace their AC system, to add a smart AC system, anything like that? That's what you kind of want to write about, because that if you're getting the majority of those calls for those problems, I guarantee you that's what everybody's searching on the web. Find opportunities. To find guest blog opportunities, start by looking for blogs that suit your niche. What's your niche? Air conditioning repairman, HVAC repair, um, air conditioning services. Obviously, I'm just sticking with the whole air conditioning genre right now. But basically, that's what you want to do. Look at other blogs. What are people writing about? What blogs are actually being ranked on Google when you do that search? Like how to keep my AC up to date. What kind of maintenance should I do to my AC? And you'll get blogs, you'll get websites, but you also get blogs. And look at your competitors' sites that are doing well. What are they writing about? There's nothing wrong with doing that. And see if they get a lot of comments on social media. Then you want to pitch a post. So before pitching, make sure you read the website's guest blog guidelines. Just like the New York Times or anything that you're looking at, you want to make sure that you follow the guidelines. A lot of places are not going to allow you to write only about your business, naming your business, call this business. It's got to be, if not, that's a sponsored ad, which is fine. But I'm pretty sure you've done searches and you look at like what an article is and it says sponsored ad. That means it was paid for and written for that specific purpose, as opposed to just organically where, hey, I'm going to write about that even though I want people to find my business. This is not a sponsored post because it's not about my business. It's about my specific business, about what my business does. And just make sure you have that. And always, you want to introduce yourself in a personal email to the company that you're trying to add that blog to if you're not adding it to your website. And again, this is guest blogging, so it's not about adding it to your website. It's about adding it to somebody else's website, a website that is reputable, a website that it has a strong DA, and a website that gets a lot of traffic. Number 4, you want to start writing. So obviously, focus on providing the readers with helpful information. You want to format that post in a way that's similar to any existing blog that you decide. So if the New York Times has a specific criteria of how they write things, how it looks, that's how you want to write. So like that, it's easy for them to look at it and say like, okay, this matches. It's less work for them to have to put it on. And like always find internal and external links to your posts. Craft your bio. So your bio can link readers to your website, product, or your service. It can also help you establish credibility. So consider adding links to your social media profiles too. This is make sure readers understand what you do and that it goes to your website and it makes sense. Sometimes you're about us, and we've seen it. It's just really quick and people don't really know. And some people want to know what the business, who's working in the business, what it's like, what you do, what you specialize in. And believe it or not, a lot of businesses, they have it on their website, but it's hard to find. Analyze and adjust. Reviewing your analytics is huge. Go to Google Analytics, go to all these different platforms that you can see where your link is at and what it's doing, and if it's driving any traffic. If it's not, then you want to go ahead and adjust and think, well, maybe I'll write about something else. It's kind of like for me, it's always amazing to see people on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram who have like all these followers and started really small. And if you kind of listen to how they become influencers, it's not like an overnight success. Some of them take months or years, and then all of a sudden they hit the right niche or the right video, and all of a sudden they take off. Why? Because they're consistently analyzing and adjusting what they need to do in order to become that, to get those followers. And that's it, guys. And as you can see, this is our amazing business development team who will be more than happy to sit with you, do a strategy call. Go ahead and scan the QR code and they'll sit with you and they'll answer more questions. We have a bunch of different places that we can go ahead and add blogs to. So if you like these videos, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, and give us a call at bippermedia.com, and you can email us anytime at sales@bippermedia.com. Thank you. Have a blessed day.